Good morning, Bhargav Reddy. Today is Monday, October 30th, and here's the heads up brief for today. Today's production to our clients consisted of a total of 83 issues. We covered 37 issues in East Asia Pacific, 20 issues in South Asia, and 26 issues in the EMEA region. I will be briefing you today on the major issues of our production.
Hey, Bassel, thank you. Please go ahead with the major issues today.
In East Asia Pacific, I'll be covering the top 3 of the 37 issues. In Australia, the XR Drum Rebellion Group will carry out a protest at the International Mining and Resource Conference from tomorrow until November 2nd at 8:30 a.m. local time. The protest will take place at the ICC International Convention Centre in Darling Harbour, Sydney, New South Wales. Bhargav and Uday, the protest could lead to localized transportation disruptions in the vicinity of the protest area.
All right, let's keep an eye out on this, especially if existential rebellions start naming or targeting specific companies in the sector. Thanks.
Sure, Uday. In Myanmar, members of the Brotherhood Alliance launched Operation 1027 on October 27th and claimed control over multiple military bases in Shan State. The Brotherhood Alliance stated that the operation is aimed against the military government to build a federal democratic union with authentic self-administrative regions. This indicates an escalation of the conflict in the region. The military government's response to this action may lead to increased violence and instability in the state, especially near military outposts. We covered this as the major development in the Southeast Asia roundup today.
Yeah, this is a very notable attack considering this is the involvement of some ethnic armed organizations that till now hadn't attacked the military, or not this directly, and this is a massive coordinated attack, and they are trying to take control of the border areas where the military gains a lot of money through illegal syndicates and illegal criminality that goes on there. This will be quite tell the team to keep a close eye on this, because this has the potential to change the dynamics of the civil war, especially if we see the Arakan army open up a front in Rakhine state. So let's keep a close eye on this. This could shift dynamics on ground.
Sure, Uday, that's very well noted. In Malaysia, pro-Palestine demonstrations were held in Selangor and Penang yesterday to protest the atrocities committed against the Palestinian community. Around 2,000 people participated in a demonstration in front of the Central Seberang Perai Mosque in Penang. Additional protests are likely in the coming days and weeks.
Yeah, keep an eye out on this. We'll see similar protests across Southeast Asia.
Sure.
In the coming
weeks.
Yeah.
In South Asia, I'll be covering the top 2 issues of the 20. In India, 3 people were killed and at least 50 were injured after a suspected improvised explosive device was detonated inside the Christian Convention Center in Kalamassery of Kerala yesterday. Some media reports have claimed that there were multiple bomb blasts. Nearly 2,000 members of the Jehovah's Witnesses group had been holding a 3-day prayer meeting during the incident. There is a possibility that the incident was conducted by a lone wolf. Authorities will be on high alert to prevent a wave of similar attacks in the country until the threat is downgraded by the intelligence officials. We covered this as a major development in South Asia today.
Yes, the incident is not typical of the other terror attacks which have happened in India. And it will be interesting to see as more information comes to light, with NIA and NSC, both agencies deployed in Kochi. More progress is likely to be made in terms of the investigation. As far as the information available at the moment, it is quite atypical of such terror attacks. And this seems to be an insider job, because one of those who surrendered claims that he had warned the congregation against an anti-national prophecies or anti-national teachings within the group, and that is not typical of any such activities in the country. And this is happening in Kerala, which is known to be pretty diverse in terms of cultural as well as religious faith is concerned. So we'll have to keep a close eye on this.
Sure, Bhargav. That's very well noted. In Bangladesh, the ruling Awami League and 14 other allied parties have announced a rally in front of the AL's central office on Bangabandhu Avenue in Dhaka at 3 p.m. local time today. Further, the BNP has announced a 3-day nationwide blockade starting tomorrow. The blockade is being held to demand the resignation of the government ahead of the elections in 2024. Security will be significantly heightened in Dhaka and other major cities with deployment of personnel on ground to avert any sudden escalation. We released an APAC advisory on this today.
All right, thank you.
In the EMEA region, I'll be covering the top 3 of the 26 issues. In Russia, hundreds of anti-Israel protesters stormed the Makhachkala airport in the Dagestan region yesterday. At least 20 people were injured. The airport was stormed after an Israeli airplane landed at the airport. Bhargav and Uday, while Dagestan is a federal subject of Russia, the incident could potentially strain diplomatic relations between Israel and Russia if not handled delicately. Additionally, additional demonstrations by anti-Israel protesters are likely to continue in the coming days. We conveyed this to our clients via an EMEA advisory message today.
All right, thank you.
In Spain, acting Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez has supported granting a controversial amnesty deal to those involved in the failed 2017 independence bid in Catalonia. While the amnesty deal may appease separatist sentiments in Catalonia, it could potentially be seen as a concession that undermines Spain's national unity. The public reaction to this proposal could be polarized. We also conveyed this to our clients via an advisory message today.
All right, thank you.
Lastly, here's an update on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Around 8,000 Palestinians and 1,400 Israelis have been killed. 18,900 Palestinians and 3,500 Israelis have been injured. Over 1 million Palestinians have been displaced in Gaza. Israel restored communication in Gaza yesterday after around 36 hours. Communication was cut on the night of October 27th. The head of Israel's intelligence agency, Shin Bet, has warned of a possible breakout in violence in the West Bank as clashes between Palestinians and Israelis persist. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said his government strongly opposes a ceasefire. Disruptions to road, air, rail, and maritime travel, as well as power supplies, will persist in Israel and Palestinian territories. Such disruptions could also spill over the Eastern Mediterranean region, especially in neighboring countries such as Egypt. Power cuts have been increased in Egypt due to a decrease in natural gas imports from Israel. We covered this as the major development in our EMEA roundup today. We also conveyed it to our clients via an advisory message.
All right, thank you. Keep a close eye on more fronts being opened in terms of conflicts with the neighboring countries, including Egypt, Lebanon, and Syria. And more importantly, please also monitor how the raids inside Gaza is going on by the IDF. Like Biden rightly advised to avoid prolonged occupation in Gaza that will spell doom to IDF plans. So we need to keep a close eye and advise our clients accordingly.
Yes, sure, Bhargav. Thank you. That's the heads up brief for today. Anything else from your end or Uday's?
Nothing further from my end. Thank you.
No, thanks for the brief. So